So, big news coming out of Arsenal today. I wasn't planning on making a video today, but Arsenal dropped the news about 11 o'clock. I was on my break at work, saw the news. I'm going to cut right to the chase. Aubameyang no longer, this is officially from the club, following his latest disciplinary breach last week, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang will no longer be our club captain and will not be considered for selection for Wednesday's match against West Ham. We expect all our players, particularly our captain, to work to the rules and standards we have all set and agreed. We are fully focused on tomorrow's match. That's all that the club have come out. Arteta has also come out himself and had his press conference for West Ham, which I will go over. I'm going to try and digest this piece by piece. So I said after the Southampton game on Saturday, I actually said it in my reaction on my review of the game. I was at the Arsenal-Southampton game. Obviously, Aubameyang wasn't because of his breach, his disciplinary breach. He was being disciplined. That's all we knew at the time anyway. And then a few more things started to come out about Aubameyang. But from all we knew on Saturday, there was a disciplinary breach. He didn't turn up to training or something like that. We thought maybe he was getting a tattoo. That was a lot of rumours going around. But turns out what it actually was that he was going to, this is from The Athletic anyway, visiting his mum, which I think the club did agree with him that he can go and do this. And they also agreed a set day and time for him to come back. He didn't come back in time. So the club decided to discipline him. I said on Saturday that this isn't the first time this has happened. Obviously, he was left out of the North London derby last season, obviously the season with no fans, because of a similar situation where he didn't turn up in time, didn't follow the COVID protocol, and because of the isolation process, he got to be back in the country at a certain point. It's the same for every single player in the Premier League, right? A lot of people might be saying, all he's done is be late for training. Why is he being stripped of the captaincy? And not many people are saying that, but a small minority are. My answer to those people would be, if every single Premier League player can follow protocol, why can't he? He's our club captain as well. Let's be honest, I made a video on this channel. You can even find it, because I'm pretty sure it's still up. It was exactly about 2 years and 1 month ago that Granit Xhaka was stripped of the captaincy, and we know why he was stripped of the captaincy. He was replaced by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who was our talisman. A lot of people still think he is our talisman as well. Was getting all the goals. He was kind of the main front piece of the club at the time. Was scoring all the goals, and he got given the captaincy. Was he captain material? I think a lot of Arsenal fans, including myself, would say absolutely not. He hasn't really got the credentials to be a club captain. But Arsenal have this thing where we seem to make the wrong mistakes when it comes to club captains time and time again. Sometimes not even their own fault. And I can go back to the likes of William Gallas, who got stripped of the captaincy. William Gallas got stripped of the captaincy. Fabregas went on strike, although that's a complete other thing. Van Persie left and went to Manchester United. I'm probably missing quite a few, because Shelney, he was one I thought was decent until he decided to bin off a pre-season tour. We've had a lot of dodgy captains. Xhaka told the fans to do one, and then he got stripped of the captaincy. I think the difference here between the Granit Xhaka thing and the Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang one is the fact that I think the player, only time will tell, but the players didn't seem to like the fact that Emery stripped Xhaka of the captaincy. And I think Arteta probably has a better communication when it comes to this sort of thing, maybe. And from what he's saying, the players are on board with it. Whether they are or not, time will tell. That's a big, big thing. The fact that these procedures are in place for the club, the disciplined players, is good, because it then shows other players that they can't get away with this. If a club captain can't get away with it, then you definitely can't get away with it as well. It's good that these standards and practices are in place at the club. So I agree with absolutely I said he should be stripped of the captaincy. Did I think he would be? I didn't think he would be. I also said on Saturday I don't think he should play for Arsenal again. Now, that is one where I might have been a bit rational because, let's face it, his downfall has been since he signed that new contract last year. Let's not be around the bush, it's a fact. But you could also argue that maybe his performances did tilt slightly when he became captain, but yet he was also a captain and carried us to an FA Cup win. So I think that point I just made is completely invalid. But it was mainly the contract. He took so long to sign that new contract with Arsenal. He then did sign that contract, £350,000 a week. And it has been very underwhelming since. And from what this statement says, which says we expect all our players. There was something that I read earlier. Let's see if I can find it. I don't think I'll be able to find it, but basically it said something like about this isn't the first time that this has happened, and we know that, but there might be more than two. We don't know everything that happens. I think this is the correct decision for the club to make, which begs the question, what's next? Who should be Arsenal's captain? Now, the last few years, even under Emery as well, we seem to have captain groups. The reason why we have captain groups is because we don't really have an outright proper leader at Arsenal Football Club. And if we do, they're probably too young to really give him that responsibility yet. A classic example would probably be Kieran Tierney. He'd be a shoo-in for a lot of people to be the next Arsenal captain. I agree. I know his injury record isn't the best. Maybe that's why he might not be chosen. But there isn't really many options there, which is why we seem to have groups of people that are candidates to be captain. And Arteta mentioned in his press conference that his captain group at the moment, I think, is Lacazette and Xhaka. Xhaka leads that team. I go most matches at home, and if we do actually get there early enough, and I do get to watch the pre-match, what I do normally watch in the pre-match training drills, and what's clear as day to see, is that Xhaka is the leader of the dressing room. He still is. After 4 years, he is the leader of that team. It's half the reason why it didn't work out with Emery, because when he was stripped, half of the team were against that decision. Based on this information with Aubameyang and the reasons behind it, I can't see the players having a revolt against Arteta like they did with Emery. I think it's going to be a completely different situation. Do I think they should give Granit Xhaka the captaincy again? No. I'll tell you the reason why. The reason why they shouldn't give Granit Xhaka that captaincy back is probably because he's a very divisive figure even now. Do I think right now, our best 11, is Xhaka in our best 11 right now? Absolutely. Whether he should be or not is a completely different question, because even I will still say that we can do a hell of a lot better. If our best midfielder is Granit Xhaka, is probably the reason why we haven't been able to hit the heights of hitting top four and challenge for medals and challenge for league titles and things like that, because our midfield just gets run over because it's not good enough, right? And it's been a big problem for a long time. This is mainly about Aubameyang, but it's also about the future of the Arsenal captaincy, and I think it's such a big thing. Arteta has only said at the moment that he's going to continue with his leaders groups. There's been no decision that's been made. I was kind of annoyed about that, because I thought you've been in the job for 2 years, you should know who your captain is. But maybe that kind of tells you it probably is Granit Xhaka, and they don't really want to give it back to Granit Xhaka after what happened before, which is understandable. So my choice personally, of course, this is my channel, True Gooner, of course. I'm going to give my own opinion on this. I think the club were bang on the money with what they did. Am I surprised they reacted so quickly? Yes. He's not going to be available for West Ham. Based on his press conference, we don't know when he'll be back. We've got 1 month till January. They could ship him off and cut their losses. I doubt they'll get that much money for him, because of course he's on £350,000 a week and he's on a multi-year contract. So I doubt they'll get a lot of money for him anyway. But I don't think that'd be too much. We have completely in the past just cut contracts off and just gone. But I think that will probably cost the club a hell of a lot of money for them to do that. A lot of some people still think as well that we are still paying Mesut Ozil's contract off for Venevace, so we've also got that to deal with as well. I don't know. That isn't factual, by the way. I just rumours, so don't bite my hand off if it's wrong. But Aubameyang, do I think he's got a future at the club? Could be. He could still have a future at the club. The weight of not being the captain, the way he would take it as well, would probably be quite bad. But let's face it, if he does knuckle down, take a massive look at himself in the mirror, focus on his football, we know how good a Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is at his best. Now, if he can clear his head and he can get his mind focused on football, I think there could be a future there for a couple of years. We have given the guy a massive contract and he should at least be able to put a shift in. But we haven't seen him put that sort of shift in where he can literally take the game by the scruff of the neck. For the last, well, like I mentioned, since probably he's had glimpses of moments, he's scored goals, yes. But even against teams like Newcastle, where we've won the game 2-0, he's still missing sitters. Even when we're winning games, you can still see that Aubameyang is the downfall. The one thing I think that team's missing going forward in attack is an out-and-out striker. Lacazette, he's a decent shoo-in right now, but he's got a year left on his contract, and we're probably not going to give him a new one because then you're stuck with the Aubameyang situation again. So it's been touted that Arsenal are looking for a striker in January, most likely going to be in the next summer. So we'll start with Lacazette for now, and Aubameyang. But whether Aubameyang will still be there, I don't know. Do I think if he knuckles down and gets his head in the right place, I absolutely think there's a future there. Whether he does or not is another story. The fact that Granit Xhaka managed to get back into Arsenal plans after what happened with him, where a lot of people would argue what happened there was worse than this. There's also other people that also argue that he had the right to tell the fans to do one after what happened. But that's either here or there. That isn't. We're not talking. This isn't about Granit Xhaka. But I think this was the right call, and it looks like he's not going to be available for quite some time, which is it is a shame. It's a real shame because we were all so happy, including me, and you can even look back on my reaction because it's up there on YouTube. It's up there on my channel. I wanted this to work. Every Arsenal fan wanted this to work. You know, he's the number 14, got Henry's number, the heir to Henry, whatever. We all wanted this to work, but it hasn't. It hasn't. And the fact they've stripped him of his captaincy tells me that I think he might be on borrowed time. I really do. I don't think he's going to react to this. His ego definitely won't react to this because he's a big figure there. I know it's only Southampton, and the big test will be, of course, tomorrow, West Ham. You will get a reaction to that. The big test is, of course, tomorrow. But we proved on Saturday, that this club, there was a time where Arsenal as a team could not win football matches without Aubameyang in the team. Didn't matter who we were playing. It could have been Southampton, Norwich, whoever. If Aubameyang isn't on that team, we will struggle for 90 minutes to break teams down and win the game. That's changed. That's changed in the last 6 months. That's changed in the last year. We've now got other players who are going to come in and step up and do the job that Aubameyang was doing before that. And they're the youngsters, the Sakas, the Smith Rowes. They need players to look up to. Aubameyang as a captain was a terrible player to look up to as your club captain with the antics he has had. Even doing things like on social media, liking Cristiano Ronaldo's post after he scored 2 goals against Arsenal in the 3-2 win a couple of weeks ago at Old Trafford. The fact he even liked that Instagram post was absolutely ridiculous. And he's clearly had a lot of disciplinary problems. The Dortmund fans did say that he does have this sort of side to him as well when we signed him. And it looks like that is correct based on what's happening here. But bottom line is, he's the wrong side of 30. He's 32, 33. I'm very grateful for everything Aubameyang has done for this club. And he has done a hell of a lot. So I'm not, this isn't going to be a shouty, ranty, you need to leave the club, F off, whatever. This isn't that video. This isn't a rant video. This is me breaking down the situation and telling you my thoughts. Because I haven't really done this sort of video on Arsenal in a very long time. And with this coming up, it seemed like the perfect time to do it. So my take on it is I'm very grateful on what Aubameyang has done for this club. Winning the FA Cup, which just so happened to be on my 21st birthday, the only ever birthday I'll ever have the same day as an FA Cup final, being on the 1st of August, due to COVID reasons and whatever. He got the Golden Boot a couple times as well 30 plus goals. There's a player there, and I think if he does knuckle down, there is a future there. But it doesn't look good right now. Arteta had basically come out in his press conference saying that his relationship with him is completely almost broken down. Hasn't said that, but that's basically what it is interpreted of him saying exactly that. So it doesn't look good, and it looks like his future at Arsenal or his Arsenal career is coming to an end. Whether it does or not, only time will tell. But my opinion is that's what it looks to be happening. I hope he can knuckle down and get himself back on side, but I just can't see it, lads and girls. I just cannot see it at all. Now, I've rambled on for 15 minutes. I don't even know if this will be able to upload on my phone, but just a quick one. Opinions on who should replace Aubameyang at Arsenal. Right. As the Arsenal captain. You know, whether you're Arteta in, Arteta out, I'm kind of still on the fence with it all, to be honest, after the recent results. So I'm neither here or there right now, if I'm being brutally honest with you. But if this is the process which they keep trying to sell to us, they need a captain that's going to be there for a long time, which I think is why Granit Xhaka should not be picked as captain again. Whether he is probably still the unofficial captain, whatever, he can still be that. Obviously, he's the leader of the team. But based on his history and his track record and his past and his disciplinary issues and things like that, it probably isn't the best idea. And plus, it will divide the fan base. It would definitely do that. So, Granit Xhaka would be off the table for me. Now, I've heard whispers of Martin Odegaard. Wouldn't be my first choice personally, but like I said, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes at Arsenal. We're about to find out in about 8 months' time, probably less than that, with this All or Nothing documentary being filmed for this season, which is going to be an absolute mess based on what's going on at the club right now. But Odegaard, I get, he's 22 years old. He's had a lot of experience in football. Of course, played for Real Madrid, had a couple of decent loans for them as well. Signed for Arsenal permanently this summer. And he's also the captain of his country, Norway. So the logic is definitely there. And obviously, whoever does come in as captain, I would have to get behind. I don't see it being Granit Xhaka personally. Kieran Tierney is an absolutely great shout. However, with his injury record, I don't know whether the club will give him the captaincy because of his injury record. We've done that in the past, where with Thomas Vermaelen, classic example, got given the armband, was injured most of the time. Our captaincy does seem to be cursed all the way down from Gallas to what happened to Koscielny at the end, Van Persie leaving for Manchester United and winning the title the next year. Fabregas going on strike, as I mentioned. Gallas getting stripped to the captaincy. I've already mentioned that once. Xhaka got stripped to the captaincy, and now Aubameyang's been stripped to the captaincy. And they even said in Arteta's press conferences that Arsenal have had 11 captains in 14 years, which kind of tells you everything you need to know. The days of having the Tony Adams captains, Mr. Arsenal, that kind of thing, those days are over, and they have been for a long time. You just got to look at Man United having Harry Maguire as their club captain to tell you that captains aren't what they used to be. But to me, if there's somebody that has as close of an old school leadership captain side to them, I would say my top four choices for Arsenal captain would be Kieran Tierney. No, sorry, we'll go 5 because there is 5 that I've got. We'll go Kieran Tierney because I think he's a very, very good option to there as captain. You can see him being so vocal to players on the pitch as well. We don't know what's going on off the pitch, so we don't know whether he does that off the pitch, but he seems like the type of player to be able to do it off the pitch as well. Looks like he would die on that turf for Arsenal Football Club, which is the sort of player you want to be your captain. Another one is Martin Odegaard, just because I will mention him because he has been linked with the club. Would he be my personal choice? Probably not, but I get the logic behind it. And he's also scored 3 goals in the last 3 games. He's actually playing really well, so he could warrant it. But to me, the old school captains have always been the centre halves or the fullbacks or just in the defence in general. So my own personal top 5. I've mentioned Martin Odegaard. I've mentioned Kieran Tierney. Gabriel, I think, is an incredible shout. If the language barrier isn't a problem, I think his English is a lot better than what it used to be. I think that Gabriel is a really, really good start. He's also a regular starter as well, which is a big, big thing, I think. And he is our main centre half. He's our best centre half. He's better than Ben White, that's for sure as well. Ben White's alright, but he's not as good as Gabriel. Gabriel's the main man. When Gabriel came back in that Arsenal team, that's when we started that 10 games without losing a game in the league, was because Gabriel was back. He was like that new signing, didn't even have a pre-season, came back, boom, different player. Been an absolutely class. Probably been one of our best players this season, Gabriel. So he's definitely there as an option. So that gives you what? Tierney, Odegaard, Gabriel. So that is 3. So we'll go with 4. I don't know why I said 5, so apologies for that. We'll go with 4 because my 4th option is the one I'd probably go with, and that is Aaron Ramsdale, our player of the season so far. Now, a lot of people say, will he have an influence on the team too much? But would he have enough influence in games because he's a goalkeeper? I don't see that being an issue at all. I think Aaron Ramsdale would be the perfect Arsenal captain. Well and truly, also because you can see the passion he has when a defender does a clearance. You can see his celebrations when a player scores. But he looks like the type of player of, if we're 2-0 down or 3-0 down at Anfield, even if he's the one that's conceded 3, I reckon he is the type of player to call out other members of that team and say, you've got to pull your socks up and start delivering, because the fans that have travelled all the way here to Anfield do not deserve to be seeing us being 2-0 down at half-time. I can see him in probably a more malicious way, or like saying, look, you need to snap out of this and start playing some proper football. I can see him being that proper leader on and off the pitch. The same candidate I can see for Kieran Tierney. You can probably even say Gabriel as well. Any of those 3, and even Martin Odegaard as the 4th, I actually wouldn't have an issue with at all. Obviously, it's not our choice, but you want somebody that the youngsters can look up to and be able to respect in the right way. I think that's the biggest thing. And for now, it looks like it's going to be Lacazette, Xhaka, probably Holdings. They're all in that captain's group as well, from what I remember. So it's going to be it's going to be those probably until we don't know. That's the thing. We don't know. I'm kind of annoyed because I feel like Arteta's been in the job 2 years. He should know who the candidates were going to be, but maybe he just didn't see this coming. We've kind of let a lot of things slide with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and apologies if you're still watching this video. Thank you so much, because I do ramble a hell of a lot, which is why I don't really do these sort of videos very often. We've let a lot of stuff, the club I should say, have let a lot slide with Aubameyang, and clearly now it's where they've just wiped their hands with him and gone, look, this isn't on. We've let you get away with so much, and we just can't let you get away with anything anymore. You're being stripped to the captaincy. I think it's the right decision from the club. It's a bold move by Arteta. We'll see how it affects the team on Wednesday as well, if it even does affect the team. But one thing for sure that we do know is Aubameyang is not going to be a part of that team that faces West Ham on Wednesday, which you will get a reaction from the ground from me tomorrow for the Arsenal versus West Ham United game. So out of those 4, I would say my pick for the next Arsenal captain, even though he's only been at the club since the summer, is Aaron Ramsdale. Mainly because the impact he's had on the team since he's joined and the vibes that he's given. He's the perfect candidate on and off the pitch, because he doesn't get, from what we've seen so far, he doesn't do these antics off the pitch, doesn't communicate with certain fan channels or whatever, that the club themselves, whether my opinion of them is nullified. No one needs to know my opinion on AFTV, but the club clearly do not like them. So the fact that he had an affiliation with them was probably not good for them either. I'm just going from the club's perspective here. I'm not trying to cause any beef or whatever. All I'm saying is that the club clearly had an issue with the channel, and probably still do. And the fact that he had an affiliation with them didn't help him at all. That isn't the reason why he's been stripped to the captaincy, but it could be something that they've been ticking off the list of, right, we've let him get away with this, we let him get away with this, and now this has happened, second disciplinary thing that we know of anyway, and they've gone, right, no, that's just not on. I'm going to wrap it up there. I don't even know if this video will upload because it's about 25 minutes long. but yeah, that's my thoughts and of Arsenal between now and the future. Hopefully we can get a result tomorrow. It'll be a very, very tough game against a very good West Ham team. Hope you'll stay safe out there, of course, with the COVID cases going up as well. So yeah, just make sure you all stay safe and wear the mask when you can, and things like that. It's gonna wrap it up from me. Like this video if you like this video if you have enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new. And that's gonna be it from me. So yeah, thanks you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys after the West Ham game. Take care.